good word on the Detroit Lions streets is that the Lions will be going after a right guard in free agency. They will be going after a cornerback and defensive line help. The interesting thing to me is the right guard. Is Graham Glasgow not going to be playing here? I know Zeifert. I feel like Zeifert was the left guard, so I don't know. I guess the Zeifert replacement. I guess they figure that they're not ready to deal. They're not ready for Mahogany to step in, and obviously Mahogany. We drafted him sixth round, something like that, out of Boston College. He stepped in and had the two games I remember him playing in, he had the highest grade, damn near, I think, on the team. Now, one of the reasons he failed in the draft was because one leg was shorter than the other. He had an injury. Another guy he drafted broken up and injured. Last year when he got healthy, he stepped in and he started balling. So the caliber right guard that they may be looking to get on that line, I don't know how high they're looking for. They looking like starter, and then he can compete with Mahogany. Because you already know, kind of got a glimpse of what Mahogany can give you. Now, he ain't really went through the grind of them, breaking down his film and seeing what he do or don't do strong. But he was a phenomenal offensive lineman at Boston College and fell in the draft simply due to one leg being longer than the other, from my understanding. So, at the end of the day, there were talks about, them trading for a guard and all that. Guard ain't really that hard to play. It's important, though, because it's the quickest line to the quarterback. It's up the middle. So you still got Graham Glasgow. You lost Kevin Zeifert. That's an issue. That's a huge issue, losing Kevin Zeifert. So, or you could use him. I don't think they plan on bringing him back. So, you can draft somebody, but obviously they figure that we just drafted Mahogany. We need somebody to compete. You traded up for that Manu guy who's going to be a guard. You also, Corey Sorsdale, you drafted, who was a tackle, but he's projected to be a guard. You drafted guys. These guys are not ready to step in and compete, or they just said we got a bunch of young guys, second-year guy and Manu, developmental guy. I think Storsdale's going into his third year. And obviously Mahogany, had a little bit of a rookie year. So yeah, I guess the whole thing is to get a veteran guard in there. Graham Glasgow will be the oldest guard in the room. Obviously, we don't know if I think Dan Skipper's a free agent. We'll see what happens there. He can play some guard, play them at tackle with a lot of help. So yeah, I think they're probably looking for more a veteran starter to compete with Mahogany, and obviously the loser of that battle can step in if they have any injuries. Graham Glasgow is also your backup center, so yeah. But as far as cornerback, the word is they're looking for a cornerback in the $12 million range per year. I think this is just going to draft another cornerback. That's what I say. Just go ahead and draft somebody. Put the resources in the front end. If you ain't willing to really pay a top corner and you getting a mid-tier corner, draft a young guy. You got Ennis Rackstraw, you got Terry Arnold, you got Amik. Just draft another young motherfucker. That's what I say. And let the chips fall where they may fall. That would be my thing. Just draft another young bull. But at the end of the day, there's a guy, some dude from the Saints I never heard of, that they say that's in the Lions price range. And that's who they probably will get. So I don't know the dude's name, never heard of him. But, it's going to be somebody we never heard of. They're going to continue to be on the cheaper end of the spectrum. We know that. At the end of the day, corners getting paid a lot of money. I don't think 15 sounds too bad. But then, if you're talking about 5 years for Carlton Davis, I understand it. The injury issues and all of that. So, and all of that. So I get where you don't really want to put a lot of stock into him and don't investment into him. So I get it. And somebody want to pay him, go ahead and get paid. You can't knock him from going to get his money elsewhere. So I ain't mad at it at all. So the Lions are going, and then the whole thing is there's supposed to be some investment in a defensive line. So we'll see. I just got a feeling they're going to take the frugal route. And, you know, his draft history is he'll draft the right guys, but they all start off getting injured. From Pascal to F.A. Malafanu, to Levon Zurike. I mean, you can go on and on. A lot of those guys they draft, they start off with injuries. Or something happen where they start off with a slow start. So, you know, can we really count on, you know, him to be able to draft guys that can plug and play? We just talked about Christian Mahogany. Came in, got injured. You know, so there's a lot to be said about this, in my opinion. So, you know, don't look for them, they're going to get Josh Sweat, they're going to get Joey Bosa, they're going to get, you know, somebody of that caliber. No, they're going to get guys that's mid-tier, day one, day two. You ain't going to really hear much. You're going to start to hear the guys that drop in value and maybe not got the money, not going to get the money they look at and start dropping. And you'll see those guys about day three, that's the second half or late, day two, day three, day four, you'll start to see them be scavengers and get the guys that like a Davenport and get a guy like DJ Reader. They're going to continue to use that model. We're going to be frugal. We're going to be cheap to get guys to fill this thing up. So if you're thinking about a Trey Hendrickson trade, not going to happen. You're thinking about Josh Sweat, not going to happen. You're thinking about a Joey Bosa, not going to happen. You're thinking about any of those guys of that caliber, it's not going to happen. You know, they're going, or it might be a Joey Bosa. You're going to see somebody like Javon Miller, old in the tooth, long in the tooth, washed up. You'll see a guy like Khalil Mack, old, long, you know, still can play long in the tooth. That's the type of shit you're going to see. Guys you never heard of. And then you'll see these Lions media reporters sit here and say, well, this is the most underrated signing, and this is why they never heard of this motherfucker a day in their life. You know, and they can say whatever they want to say about me. I keep it a bean. I ain't sugarcoated. I ain't salt-coated. I'm telling y'all how it is. You know, we knew that they not going to make no splash. It's Detroit. They don't make splashes. They want to do enough to turn profit, and that's good enough for them. So a number of their resources, they targets in free agency is going to be defensive lineman, cornerback, and a right guard. So obviously they don't plan on bringing back Zyford or Davis. Now if Zyford or Davis don't get a lucrative offer and they financially start to drop in, they probably bring them back if the price is right. So it is what it is. So we'll see what happens. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Hit the link tree. Find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Amazon, King, Twitch, the whole nine. Appreciate the love and support. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist.